being aware of what you've eaten, when you've eaten, and the effect that it has on you and your performance, and even on yourself visually, is something that I have, I guess you could say, underestimated in the last 2-3 months. As I've alluded to before, I'm somebody who maybe on average, maybe 4 or 5 days a week, I'll train fasted. So most of my week I train fasted. So I wake up, do what I need to do, get to the gym early afternoon, get home early evening, and then just eat for the rest of the evening. I'll eat what you would consider my breakfast, lunch, and dinner between maybe 5 to 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock. And I've never felt like that dramatically affects my performance or anything of the sort. But the other day, well, yesterday in particular, I was thinking a lot about how you speak to certain people that have been going to the gym for a long period of time, and they can tell you exactly how their body reacts, just mainly visually, exactly how their body reacts and how they look when they fasted, when they've eaten this, that, and the third, really. Like, I've spoken to people that have been able to tell me, yeah, this specific food, if I eat an hour or two before, then I'm able to do this and I look like this, but if I don't eat anything, then I look tiny, And as somebody who has spent the last few years like disconnecting from vanity, like looking at myself on a regular basis or taking photos of myself and just being aware of like my body, the way it looks at any given time, isn't something I'm accustomed to. It's not a habit that I have. So I feel really out of touch with being aware of how my diet is affecting my training. And the reason why I started thinking about it today is because honestly, I haven't experienced like the mental battle of being in the gym and putting in some work like I experienced today in a very long time. After the first exercise or two, my mind was just on autopilot, just trying to go home. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I had to work very, very hard to control my thoughts and to force myself to work, essentially, because I wanted to work today. Like, I wanted to work today, but my mind and my body was like, nah, bro, like, we need to go and eat. And I understand why, because last night I didn't eat after training. Last night was a rare situation where I actually trained. I was in the gym way past midnight. I must have left the gym at about 12:30, which is partly why yesterday's video was the way it was. Like, I just found myself in a like deeply meditative state, and that is essentially what I wanted to portray, so to speak, through yesterday's video. But that resulted in me getting home at about 1 o'clock, showering, rehydrating, and going to bed. And I went to bed hungry. And I woke up this morning, and again, like yesterday was the reason why I trained late, was because of things in my day that had to be done, and so on and so forth. And then today, because of things in my day that had to be done and have to be done from here on out, I train first thing. So usually on a day like that, I would have eaten this morning, because today would have been one of my eating days, because obviously I trained yesterday and didn't eat afterwards, which isn't the best thing to do in the world. So now I'm mid-session and I realize, oh shit, I'm essentially asking my body to do 2 workouts fasted, which is a big ask. And I can understand why my mind was instinctively trying to self-preserve and just trying to like get out of here and eat, get out of here and eat. We need to survive. Get out of here and eat. I could feel my mind panicking in a weird, like, it was weird, man. It was really, really weird. Obviously, I got it under control, and it was fairly easy to get under control. I just got my mind back on my work. However, it was somewhat a surreal experience, man. It was a surreal experience. I can only relate it to, like, if you've ever competed in martial arts and things ain't going your way mid competition, like your mind can go into self-preservation mode and be like why the fuck are you here? Like, get out of here, and you gotta fight yourself whilst you're trying to fight somebody else. So it was a bit of a head fuck. Like, it was a bit of a head fuck, to say the least. But I got some work done, and it's definitely something to be far more conscious of in the future. And I think it's just something to think about more and more just in life. Funnily enough, it is something I have thought far more about recently, which is why I've ended up fasting a lot more than I used to, because I started learning about the science behind doing certain activities fasted and the effect that it has on your brain, and then subsequently the chemicals that your brain produces, and the effects that those chemicals have on your body, hormones and shit have on your body. Like, I can't even string my words together properly. I need to eat. But yeah, so I'm kind of very intrigued, so to speak. Well, yeah, no, I'm very intrigued that it's been as significant as it was for me today. It makes sense as to why, because of the extreme circumstances of my last 2 workouts. So yeah, it's definitely food for thought, something I'll be much more aware of as time goes on. If you made it this far, thank you very much. I shall see you tomorrow.